Court filings from Diddy's legal team recently revealed new details, including what he allegedly said about 50 Cent and the possibility of a pardon. A source close to him claimed, quote, spending the holidays behind bars was a nightmare for him. According to that account, Diddy reportedly had an emotional breakdown in his cell and asked guards to send him to the hospital for observation, but the request was denied. The same source told the Daily Mail that he eventually managed to settle himself using meditation techniques he has been practicing while incarcerated. It reportedly took several hours of deep breathing and focus for him to regain composure. Questions about Diddy's mental state have surfaced before, and this incident has only added to that ongoing discussion.
A person close to him apparently said, quote, spending the holidays behind bars was a nightmare for him. If we're to believe all this, Diddy had a meltdown in his cell and begged the guards to take him to the hospital for observation, but they refused. This same friend or person told the Daily Mail, quote, he eventually managed to calm himself down with the meditation technique he's been using while he's been behind bars. It took him a few hours of deep breathing and focusing to get out of the bad space he was in, but he finally managed it. This isn't the first time Diddy's mental health has come into question.
Reports suggest Diddy has been having a difficult time adjusting to prison life, and will examine the possible reasons shortly. First, though, it's important to look at what he has allegedly faced in recent months. During his latest appeal hearings, his attorneys stated that Diddy had been attacked and nearly killed on 2 separate occasions. Former associate Gene Deal also claimed his own sources inside Fort Dix supported those concerns. According to these accounts, Diddy believes he is being deliberately targeted and that someone may be encouraging inmates to go after him.
Claiming that his throat was nearly in prison. According to Diddy, he was asleep in his cell and he woke up to a man standing over him with a shank at his throat. It's important to understand that this incident was not an attempted murder. If this person wanted to kill Diddy, he never even would have seen it coming until he was bleeding out of his throat. This was a warning, and this was a mark of things to come for Diddy. First off, Diddy is down on a bad charge, and it doesn't matter that it's not like a child charge, it's still a charge, and people in prison, they don't like that. Even though it's a prostitution charge and the that he had transported across state lines were men, it's still a sex beef. That honestly is going to seem even weirder to dudes in there. Also have to keep in mind that Diddy has a lot of money, and they're going to want that money, and they're going to get that money out of him whether he wants them to or not. Also have to keep in mind that Diddy is famous, so if you were the dude who beat up, stabbed, or clapped Diddy's cheeks, that gives you a certain amount of clout in.
Some observers believe the incidents may have been intended more as intimidation than fatal attempts. The message, in that view, would be simple: pressure can reach him anywhere. Diddy's attorney, Mark Garagos, has also stated in interviews that certain inmates have allegedly made threats against him. Others speculate the hostility could stem from prison culture reacting to the allegations against Diddy. Still, the timing of the reported incidents has raised eyebrows among those following the case closely.
I just want to lay this out right now. He is a target because they talked about this in court. They said somebody tried to shank him already, and that he is a big target. Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC, and that was thwarted. And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously injured or killed in prison. And so they're going to have to keep him somewhere that they can keep an eye on him. It would have obviously been better if he had gotten less time and had been at a camp, but he's going to be in a facility where somebody's going to have to, from the BOP, and I think they're well equipped to do it if they can, to keep an eye on him because he is a target.
Sources say Diddy's low morale may also be tied to the fallout involving Donald Trump and the rumored pardon discussions. After his October sentencing, speculation circulated that he might receive clemency. However, that narrative shifted dramatically after Netflix released 50 Cent's documentary project, which reignited public scrutiny. Supporters of the film argue it compiled damaging claims and renewed attention on the case.
Immediate release from prison. This week, his attorneys urging a federal appeals court in New York to reverse his conviction on related charges or direct the judge to lighten his 4-year sentence. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. Diddy's lawyers, Jeff, officially filing that appeal this week. Tell us more about their argument and also the chances it succeeds. What are you hearing?
So Diddy is currently serving that 50-month prison sentence after being found guilty on those prostitution-related charges over the summer. In their appeal filing, his lawyers now arguing the music mogul was treated harshly during sentencing by a federal judge who let evidence surrounding charges that he was actually found not guilty of actually then influence his punishment.
Around the same time, 50 Cent publicly commented about the situation on social media, indicating he planned to make his views known regarding any potential pardon. Posts attributed to him suggested he intended to ensure decision-makers were fully aware of his position. The statements quickly spread online and intensified the already heated public conversation surrounding Diddy's legal future.
It's a problem. That's a problem. That's the only thing I can peel from it at this moment in time. I would love for 50 Cent to tell us what exactly is his disgust.
Not long after the online back and forth, reports indicated that the White House would not be pursuing clemency. According to coverage from TMZ, the development also affected Diddy's reputation inside the facility. The outlet reported claims that he had previously told fellow inmates he expected to be released and would look out for them on the outside. Something critics say may have been an attempt to build goodwill for personal safety.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Well, not anymore. After more than a year in prison, Diddy has asked the White House for a pardon, and Donald Trump is shutting him down.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
Yeah, that's according to the president himself, who spoke to the New York Times on Wednesday, explaining the request came in a letter. Details of the alleged letter haven't been divulged. But Trump did say he's not planning to commute the mogul sentence. He didn't say why, but it's a move the president has been thinking about for months. Here's what he told reporters during Diddy's marathon trial in May.
He used to really like me a lot. I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact.
Meanwhile, Diddy's family appears to be working on shaping their own narrative. His sons, Justin and Christian Combs, recently announced plans for a documentary series with Zeus Network. The project is expected to focus on their perspective during their father's federal case, including reactions to media coverage and the raids on family properties. Early teaser footage reportedly shows the brothers watching trial material and receiving a call from Diddy at FCI Fort Dix.
Diddy Combs' sons Justin and Christian are teasing a new docuseries about their family. Justin and Christian King Combs appear in a new trailer released December 28th to Instagram by Zeus Network's founder. In the trailer, Justin and Christian sit on a couch in a screening room while a series of headlines about their father cycle on screen. At the end of the trailer, Justin's phone vibrates and he answers a collect call from the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institute, where Combs is currently behind bars. No release date for the docuseries is given, though the teaser says viewers can expect it at some point in 2026. Combs shares Justin with ex-Misa Hilton and Christian with the late Kim Porter. The rapper is also dad to 34-year-old son Quincy and daughters Chance, 19, twins Delilah and Jesse, also 19, and Love, who is 3 years old.
Some legal watchers find it notable that prison calls are featured, since recorded communications were reportedly cited during earlier court proceedings. Critics argue that highlighting those calls could reopen questions that previously worked against Diddy during appeals.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year. The news coming after reports of Combs drinking in prison, something he denies, after he was accepted into a rehab program in prison that could have reduced his sentence by up to a year. He's also been accused of making a prohibited three-way phone call from prison.
Prosecutors have already used at least one recorded conversation in court to argue that Diddy's behavior had not significantly changed. Because inmates know calls are monitored, observers believe any sensitive discussion would likely be coded or indirect. One of the most discussed calls was reportedly between Diddy and his son Christian.
Yo, listen, do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
The what?
All the boxes.
He's talking in code, he's dumb.
All the boxes.
Okay.
Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Yeah.
Did Jay reach out yet?
Nah, Pop, he ghosting.
Yeah, watch.
What this motherfucker doing? These things sweet
You heard him?
because I'm in here.
It's
Jay-Z
all
reach
good.
out.
You about to get out on bail.
Nah, fuck that. Hey, yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie.
Alright, Pop. It's fucking crazy right now.
You heard him? That's a threat. Keep going. It's going to say some more.
That's it. That was the whole thing.
Oh, it's another part two
There's
to
more
it.
part? Yeah, okay.
The part two to that is, right? Now, you caught that, right? Reach out to the producer. He's talking about
he's talking about recycling pizza boxes.
No, but he said reach
clearly
out.
there's a code
He's
going
talking about
on,
reach
yeah.
out to the producer that and let him know it's going to be a new term to that Netflix flick. You know, he's talking about something he got on audio, on the video, right?
Yeah.
But he from there he went to like, let them laugh now. We're gonna laugh the loudest later. So I believe we're gonna wake up once he figures out whatever he figures out and accept what he's gonna accept. I think he's holding some things to try to get people to do certain things, whatever that may be. I can't see it being financed just yet, but me and you both know at least 60% of whatever he has going on needs to cut back, should have been cut back to ready and prepare himself for lawsuits and just legal fees.
According to reports, Diddy at one point appeared highly confident he would secure release. There were also claims from inside the facility that he was disciplined for allegedly possessing homemade alcohol, sometimes called hooch. Observers noted that if true, such a violation could risk complicating any ongoing appeals, suggesting he may have been extremely confident in a favorable outcome at the time.
Like I said, these people that usually do make it are very good at it, and they actually charge to make it. So in prison, in federal prison, everything's a business. So he probably paid somebody to actually hold that in their cell and make it for his birthday. I guess it was his birthday that came up, and they will make this alcohol beverage for you. But what's confusing to me is that when you're in the feds, usually there's a crooked CO that'll just bring you in an actual bottle of vodka. So I don't know why they even made it.
Serious?
Yes. Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Yes.
So the whole thing you just said about them selling the toilet wine, I feel like Diddy wouldn't have to buy it. There'd be a lot of people who'd want to be friends with Diddy, and they'd be handing it over. Really?
No, they know how much money he has. Everybody's so happy that he's in the jail right now because they see currency. So all they're doing right now is going up to his cell and trying to sell him everything that they have possible. Actually, trying to get on salary with him to make his bed, clean his cell, go extra shopping for him, extra phone calls, cell phones, anything they can. They're all going to his cell trying to sell something to him because they know he has money. They do it to everybody with money in those jails.
Wow, that's something. Let me quickly read the statement that Diddy's team put out when TMZ broke this news, because they really stopped short of denying it. But this is what they said. Mr. Combs is in his first week at FCI Fort Dix and is focused on adjusting, working on himself, and doing better each day. As with any high-profile individual in a new environment, there will be many rumors and exaggerated stories throughout his time there, most of them untrue. We ask that people give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth with grace.
Separate leaked footage has allegedly shown Diddy interacting with other inmates and performing assigned work duties in the prison library. Prior to that, reports indicated he had been working in the laundry unit but requested reassignment after expressing safety concerns. Ongoing rumors about threats against him continue to circulate, and some commentators believe pressure from potential co-conspirators could be a factor. So far, however, he has not publicly changed his legal stance.
We got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library itself.
But you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there. Yeah,
this got to be
his first
This
assignment.
got to be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does
I mean,
believe
he is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
Supporters of 50 Cent's documentary argue it did more than affect pardon talk. They say it also strained Diddy's relationship with members of his legal team and brought additional scrutiny. One controversial claim involves footage allegedly showing conversations between Diddy and attorneys who were unaware they were being recorded. Critics say that revelation, if accurate, could seriously damage attorney-client trust, particularly with lawyer Mark Agnifilo.
Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship. Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege, the lawyer doesn't, but Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly, and Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person, and tried to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on. And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before.
The documentary also revisited long-running speculation about the murders of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. Interviews with individuals connected to those events were included, some of whom had reportedly stayed silent for decades. The renewed attention has prompted members of Tupac's family to re-examine certain claims and statements linked to the case.
He has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac murder trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information.
Investigators connected to those historic cases have acknowledged the renewed public interest. Legal analysts note that if any new criminal findings were ever formally pursued and proven, potential sentencing exposure could increase significantly. That possibility is widely viewed as one of the most serious concerns surrounding Diddy's legal future.
Yes, I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a murder trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick, because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove that.
Another theory circulating online suggests that some former associates may now be distancing themselves and shifting blame toward Diddy alone. Commentators pushing this view argue that multiple people were involved in the broader ecosystem around him, though no court has confirmed such claims.
What they needed to do in this documentary, the whole objective of this documentary was to blame it all on Diddy. The devil made me do it, blame it all on Diddy, and the rest of the industry is nothing like this. Like when Curtis Jackson sat there in his interview with Robin and sat there and said, I did this because I don't want people thinking that the hip hop community is okay with this kind of behavior. I don't want them thinking that, we're just going to be silent while all of this is going on. Like, we're okay with this kind of behavior. And my thing is huh? So now you speaking for all of hip hop, and all of hip hop is uncomfortable with this. Meanwhile, you got people like Ja Rule who, on the low key, allegedly, Gene Deal has exposed for having his own nude tryst freak-offs with Diddy.
Singer Jaguar Wright has gone further, suggesting the documentary itself may reflect internal industry dynamics. She previously declined to participate, saying she doubted major figures would allow material that could harm their own interests. After watching the finished project, she said her suspicions only grew stronger.
I agree. Like, that's the thing. The story's not even being told. Because in order to tell the actual whole story, you would have to include everyone that is involved. But no, this is about saving the industry and blaming it all on Diddy. Saving the industry and blaming it all on Diddy. Okay, Diddy's going to jail. He's going to do his time. I don't know what that appeal is looking like right now. Because see, the one thing that all of this documentary shit is doing is definitely fucking up his possibility for an appeal to get out early. Especially with the judge and them and the appeal board having to look at the footage of him sitting there with Mark Agnifilo, pretty much working on how to fix the trial.
And for him to be watching the feds watching him.
Yeah, filming the feds.
Filming.
And directing.
Jaguar has also argued that if every alleged connection surrounding Diddy were ever fully exposed, the fallout could be enormous for the entertainment world. Skeptics counter that such claims remain speculative. Still, her comments continue to fuel online debate about how much people around Diddy may or may not have known over the years.
If the complete and utter truth comes out, 3 things happen. The entertainment industry collapses completely. Millions, possibly billions of advertising dollars don't get made. People go broke. Companies go under. That's why they can hate me. Not because I'm telling the truth on people. Because I'm telling the truth about the system. And I'm showing people the reality that the only thing that matters is that dollar. These entities, these companies, they don't care about none of these people. They don't care about none of these victims. They don't care about the perpetrators. They don't care about the prey. Shit, half the time, they're encouraging the predator. They don't care. It's all about the...
For now, Diddy's legal team is focused on appeals. His attorneys have formally requested that his 50-month sentence either be reduced or vacated, arguing that acquittals on some major charges should factor into the final punishment. They maintain the current sentence is excessive under the circumstances.
New appeal from hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. His defense team is seeking his immediate release from federal prison, calling his 50-month sentence on charges of transportation for prostitution excessive. CB Cotton has the details live from our New York newsroom. Good to see you, CB.
Hey, Lydia. Well, once one of the most powerful names in hip-hop, Sean Diddy Combs is now behind bars at that federal facility in Fort Dix, New Jersey, but his legal team says he should have never been sent there for this long. So on Tuesday, in an 84-page filing, Combs' attorneys asked a New York federal appeals court to immediately release Combs and send the case back for a new sentencing or grant him an acquittal. In July, a jury found Combs guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution and acquitted him of the most serious charges, racketeering, conspiracy, and scheme. In the fall, the judge then sentenced Combs to a little more than 4 years.
If the appeal fails, the situation could become more complicated. More than 100 civil lawsuits have reportedly been filed against him. Legal experts note that while civil cases don't automatically add prison time, any overlapping criminal findings in the future could potentially extend his legal troubles. Gene Deal has publicly speculated about how Diddy might handle a significantly longer sentence, though such predictions remain opinion, not fact.
But you knowing Diddy personally, do you think it's possible he might take his life?
It takes a certain individual to prepare himself to do a lot of years in jail. From the lifestyle that he had, I'm not saying that he can't. I just don't see him able to do time behind bars. Maybe if he be in a camp type situation, that's a possibility. But based on the lifestyle and what he's done and what he's accomplished, if he had to go behind those bars for a lot of years, I think that he may commit.
Everything now depends on what happens next, the appeal outcome, any new witnesses, and whether further charges ever materialize. If even part of the insider speculation proves accurate, major developments could still be ahead. What's your take on Diddy's chances? Do you think the appeal has real momentum, or is this just the beginning of a much longer legal battle? Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.